This is the African climate change strategy. It has been under development for some years now. Initial work on the strategy, in fact, started around 2011 at the request of the African Ministerial Conference on Environment. So our organization has led the analytical work as well as the conceptual work. And this was done in the context of collaboration with the African Union Commission and the Africa Development Bank as part of an initiative called ClimDev Africa. This is a climate for development in Africa. The challenge that is facing Africa as a continent is that all of our individual countries are impacted quite seriously by climate change. All of our countries are also developing individual responses to climate change in terms of individual national policies, even policies below the national level as well. However, there is a need to begin to bring all of those individual responses together and to create a continental framework which guides how individual nations can address the climate challenge that they're experiencing. The justification for a coordinated response which brings together all these stakeholders is firstly that the economies of most African countries are very small, too small to be able to address the vulnerabilities to climate change without the participation of other stakeholders. Secondly, the capacities to develop climate responses for individual nations are also limited. By capacities, we mean capacities, for instance, to access resources, capacities to design policies, capacities to integrate the climate response into national development policies and processes. In this particular meeting, we are meeting as East and Southern Africa to discuss the draft strategy and to have our inputs into that draft strategy. There will be other meetings organized for West and Central Africa as well as North Africa to review the responses of those regions and their contributions to the strategy as well. So this is going to be a coordinated response in the sense that the actual views that are expressed in the final strategy represent the broad views of all of the state stakeholders from all of the regions of our continent. We had quite great participation. Of course, the in-person physical participation was limited because of the challenges of the pandemic. We observed all of the COVID protocols, and so we could only bring together a small number of people to meet physically. But there was also a large number of people participating virtually and contributing their views as well. So over the next 2 days, I think what we hope to achieve is to actually leave Nairobi with a draft strategy that actually is representative of the perspectives and the views of the governments of East and Southern Africa. We also hope that our participants represent other stakeholders beyond the national governments, stakeholders including civil society, the private sector, as well as the African youth and representatives of other special interests on the continent. We are very grateful to the government of Kenya for hosting this meeting, as well as to the UN agencies in Kenya for making it possible as well. So this has been a good start, and we hope that the next 2 days are going to be equally productive.